Thank you for joining us on Black Investments Matter. I'm Antoine Anderson, and today we're talking about decentralized networks and exchanges in the United States of America. One decentralized network particularly is going to be affected by the Binance news. Let's find out which one it is. Before we jump into why decentralized networks have so many disadvantages, let's talk about the number one advantage that it has over centralized crypto exchanges. The biggest and most prominent advantage that decentralized networks have over centralized is the fact that it has a level of anonymity attached to it. That means your transactions can be anonymous, but it is that very same aspect that has made it a target from not only the SEC, but the Federal Trade Commission, and U.S. policies altogether. That anonymity is what led to the destruction, as I'm calling it, of Binance US and Binance. It led to the departure of CZ from the network he created. Why? Well, when you have a decentralized network, no KYC or very little, you don't have any idea where this money is coming from or going to. That alone was enough of a door opening that allowed the federal government to go in and assert that a lot of the organized crime elements of our society are using cryptocurrency as a way to funnel cash in and out of terrorist organizations, human trafficking organizations, anything, as if none of this stuff was happening before with regular currencies, with fiat currencies. But I digress. It is that anonymity that caused all of the stuff that we're seeing right now. In addition to the anonymity factor or its key advantage being used against it, decentralized networks also have a number of other obstacles that keep it from being adaptable to the average user. First, let's talk about the high cost of transferring funds by means of gas fees on the network. Whereas a lot of transactions on centralized networks are measured in single dollar digits or nothing at all. With Ethereum, you have to calculate a gas fee. You want to buy a particular token on a exchange like 1inch or Curve or even Pancake Swap. You have to calculate that gas fee. And that goes to your wallet extensions like the Coinbase wallet or MetaMask. Anytime you make a transaction, especially on the Ethereum network, you're going to incur gas fees, and those gas fees fluctuate wildly. And when they do, you're paying a huge amount of money, and you're paying a premium for faster service. This is not something that a lot of people look past, especially when compared to a centralized network to buying the same token. Actually, a lot more offerings on centralized networks than what would be set aside for the particular decentralized networks you're using. And you look at those costs, and it's just not feasible for smaller investors. People who want to transfer thousands of dollars in cryptocurrency, yeah, that might be for them. It may not be as big of an ordeal as it is for somebody who trades under $100. Just not worth the cost. Those gas fees mean you're going to have to understand what GUI is, and that's the smallest unit of measurement on the Ethereum-based network. You're going to have to know what a block is in a blockchain. Those kind of things bring us to our second most difficult obstacle to overcome, and that is just the complexity of how these fees are calculated and just how to use these decentralized networks. Many platforms, many different ways to go about it, whether we're talking 1inch, Curve, Pancake Swap, Sushi Swap, whatever. You have to calculate something called slippage. This is the price between what you started the order at and what you thought you were going to be paying versus what you're actually paying. And when you're talking slippage, you want to go out and buy a particular amount of tokens. Let's say I want to buy, let's say five Ethereum tokens. Well, in that first block transaction, maybe only 4 are available. You have to go to another vendor in that same computation to get the remaining 2. Well, out of those 3 that you got from the first vendor, the last 2 are split between 2 different vendors, 1 and 1. They can charge different prices. And you're going to be paying more for the premium of getting it done faster. That's slippage. Slippage is a very slippery slope and a major deterrent from using these type of networks to transfer funds. It's costly, more costly than it would to be just to send the money Western Union. It's one of those things that make one pause when thinking about the overall financial feasibility of using a network that costs so much to get the same results as you would get from sending money via PayPal even. It's just not cost effective. And last but not least, the third reason why the disadvantages of these networks are such a traumatic decision to make is that none of these things are going to be compliant with current U.S. law in the United States. It just is. We've seen what happened with CZ. We're watching what happens real time as Congress goes in and makes more and more laws and more taxation for cryptocurrency traders. This has already hit the cryptocurrency miners very hard, eliminating virtually any profit that you could actually make, or at least severely curtailing it. And it makes it difficult to see a way forward with the network. Again, it seems like the emphasis is to try to bring it under the control of a centralized authority, at least here in the United States. And as that continues to happen, even though the technology is so much more superior to an ACH or regular direct deposit or Western Union, well, however you're transferring money, being able to move the funds on a digital ledger is just flat out better. But why should you incur all these 3 disadvantages just to use that network? That's something to think about. Those are 3 of my disadvantages in using the Ethereum network, particularly, and the associated gas fees, the complexity of these decentralized networks, and just the overall adaptation and the legal obstacles you're facing with the United States central government if you are a United States citizen. Let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear what your points are on this topic. My name is Antoine Anderson. Again, thank you for watching. We are now 594 watch hours away from monetization. I do appreciate your support. Remember, all money's not good money. Watch how you spend it. I'll talk to you later.